Yo, what is going on, my people? 29 back here with another video. In today's video, we're going to be previewing the FIFA World Cup. The draw happened a few days ago. This won't really be a prediction video per se. It's just a kind of like a reaction slash preview video to just kind of analyze and see what the hell's going on with these groups, because we got some spicy groups. We've got some good stuff coming on. If you guys are new to the channel, please make sure to smash that like button. Of course, subscribe. It helps. It means a ton to me as well. It really does help. So please subscribe. You won't regret it. So yeah, join me for some more football content. And of course, all of my socials, my Twitter, X, Discord, Instagram, TikTok, all of them will be down in the description for you guys to check out. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. Now, I know I'm a few days late to this, and the real reason is I was recording podcasts and other videos with other content creators, so maybe some of you have seen that on other social media platforms. That's the real reason why I haven't been able to post one myself. And I also kind of needed some time to kind of process these groups. I mean, there's an instant reaction video that I could have done, but I'm not really the type of guy to do instant reaction videos, because I usually end up saying things that will probably not happen when the tournament actually does come. So I kind of wanted to take my time and look at these groups again, sit down properly and look at these groups and be like, yeah, this makes the most sense, or no, this doesn't make any sort of sense. Let's start. Group A, we've got the hosts, or one of the hosts I should say, Mexico, South Africa, South Korea, and one of the playoff spots between Denmark, North Macedonia, Czech Republic, and the Republic of Ireland. Now, I think the favorites here would be Denmark, but again, I'm just gonna go through kind of all four nationalities that can qualify here. I mean, this is a doable group for quite literally everyone here. Everyone here has a fair chance of making it. I think it's important that you guys also know that with this new World Cup format, because there's more teams now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's the best 8 that go through. So there's a potential for a lot of newcomers, for teams that haven't ever qualified for knockout football at the World Cup, like my country. We're not going to talk about that now. So yeah, Group A, like I said, Mexico, South Africa, South Korea, and one of the playoff spots from UEFA. I think it's Pathway D. Now, it really depends on who qualifies from that playoff spot. If Denmark qualifies, I think Denmark has a big chance. They're a good team. They've got some solid players. South Korea, Mexico are also one of the favorites. I think South Africa is the team here that's going to be looked over, because it's South Africa. I'm pretty sure, I think they're the least or the lowest ranked. So yeah, enough chit chat. I think this is a group that, as I've mentioned, is winnable for all nationalities here. Even South Africa, I wouldn't necessarily rule them out. They're a decent side. They're not the best side per se, but I think on a good day they might go ahead and do their thing. I mean, they're a nation that they're capable to play against the best. They've drawn Algeria. I think they've beaten Morocco a few times. They've even won against Egypt in a friendly. So it's like this South African side has the potential to hurt these nations, in my opinion. So it's a very interesting group. I like this group a lot, because I don't really have a favorite. I think this group is open to all four of these nationalities that are going to qualify. And I'm even putting North Macedonia in there. I'm putting all of them in there. I think they all have a fair chance. So looking at Mexico, they haven't really been great as of late, if we're being honest. I think since the Gold Cup they've been pretty underwhelming. But yeah, I know not a lot of Mexicans aren't really happy with the way the national team is going forward, but I mean, still, you're the hosts. You're playing in your own country. You're playing in your own turf. You've got the chance to make history here for Mexico. So yeah, like I said, this isn't a prediction video, so I'm not going to be saying who I think is going to go through. We'll be doing a prediction video, closer to the World Cup. I don't really think it's fair to do one now. I think it's a little bit too early. So that's that. Group B, we've got Canada, and then the UEFA Playoff A, Pathway A. So it's that famous pathway spot with Italy, Northern Ireland, Wales, and Bosnia. And then you've got Qatar and Switzerland. Over on the Asian Football Show, we covered all the Asian sides in the latest episode, so check that out if you haven't, if you're interested in Asian football. And from a Qatari viewpoint is it's very, very difficult to get out of this group. I don't really give them much option. I think Canada, Switzerland, and the playoff spot, which will most likely be Italy. I'm gonna bet on Italy. I mean, crazier things have happened if they genuinely don't qualify. I made a video about Italy, guys. If they genuinely don't qualify, it's an absolute catastrophe. But yeah, I'm presuming Italy is going to be the team that's going to be making it. So it's going to be interesting to see, Canada versus Italy. There's a huge Italian community in Canada, so that's also a pretty cool thing to think about as well. So it's an interesting group, but for a team like Qatar, I think it's going to be a little bit too much. I think they've been they're going to be unfavored here. I think the three other teams, even if it's not Italy, I think, realistically, if you get a Northern Ireland or maybe a Bosnia, maybe there's a chance for Qatar. But, if it's Italy or Wales or a team like that, I don't think there's going to be much there for Qatar. So it's a good group for the playoff spot. It's a good group for Canada. Canada might see this. It's a difficult group. Don't get me wrong. It's a difficult group for Canada. But Canada are now in a stage in their football where they can play with the big boys. So you've got to beat. If you want to be a decent football nation, you've got to beat some of these teams. You've got to play well against Switzerland. You've got to beat Qatar, and you've got to try the best against that playoff spot. Especially if it's Italy, you've got to try to get a point out of that, which I think is more than doable. Looking at how poor Italy has been recently. So, Group C: Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, and Scotland. I think the two favorites are already set from now: Brazil and Morocco. Again, for Haiti, I think it's too much. It's gonna be too much. I really do hope Haiti pull up some sort of, historical result against the big sides, but I think it's going to be too much for them. And Scotland too. I've seen a lot of people downplay the Scottish side. I mean, they've been decent, man. I don't understand why Scotland is getting so much hate. I genuinely think they also stand a chance if they play. Let's say they get a win. Their first game is against Haiti. They get that first 3 points against Haiti. They only need a point against either Brazil or Morocco, which I think is doable. Brazil is not the best at the moment. You guys have seen that. And Morocco is also in a sort of state of I don't know, from a result viewpoint, Morocco is doing very well. But I think now that they did what they did in 2022, they have an expectation. I don't know if that expectation is going to be met again for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. It's a little bit scary to think about it. But Moroccans, I have a lot of Moroccan friends and people that I know, and they have lots of expectations for this Morocco side. So hopefully they do well. I mean, Morocco is a footballing nation now. You can consider them with the best. So I am looking at this, and I think for Brazil and Morocco, I wouldn't necessarily say it's going to be a cakewalk. I think Scotland can cause problems to these two sides, but I think it's pretty safe to say you've got your two favorites there. Again, not necessarily a prediction video, but when you look at this group, you can't really help but think those two countries are going to be the ones advancing. So that's what I think. So for Group D, another host, we've got the USA, Paraguay, Australia, and the UEFA playoff pathway C. So it's between Turkey, Romania, Slovakia, and Kosovo. I think the favorites here are Turkey, which makes a lot of sense. Favorable group for the hosts. I think the US they've gotten off easy. I think they are going to do well in this group. I would be shocked if they don't. I mean, they won against Paraguay, so it's a team that they just recently played, which is good. Australia is a tricky side, but they also lost to the USA not long ago. So the USA beat both of these teams in friendlies just recently. So it's looking good for the US. It's looking very, very good. And then for the playoff C team, depending on who actually qualifies, if you've got a magic nation that goes up there like Kosovo is not a bad nation either. Very low ranked, but if you look at their individual players, a lot of them play in big leagues too. So they're not a half bad team. And you've got Slovakia, you've got lots of veterans there. Romania, same thing goes there. Lots of veteran players. But I think people are expecting Turkey to be the ones to qualify, and Turkey are no pushover. I know Turkey, as of late, haven't been the best either. I have some Turkish friend who, they're not happy with the way the Turkish football in general. They're not really happy with how it's been run. I'm sure you guys have heard there's a lot of stuff happening in the world of Turkish football, but Very favorable group for the USA, and I think if they don't get out of this group, I think it's a tragedy. They have to get out of this group, whether it's first, second, or third. I think they will, but if they somehow don't, it's a big problem. Very, very big problem. Let's move on to Group E. Germany, Curacao, the smallest nation to qualify for a World Cup, Ivory Coast, and Ecuador. Very interesting group. I think, again, Germany are going to be the favorite, so I think that battle for the second spot is really going to be between Ivory Coast and Ecuador. And yeah, Ecuador have been decent too. They draw a lot. You know, they drew the US, they drew Mexico, they drew Canada. They actually won against Argentina in the CONMEBOL qualifiers, so like they can definitely have a good result there against Germany. I can see that happen. So I think Germany might top the group fairly easily, if they get no injuries, because Germany's problem is, I don't know, depth-wise, it's weird. It's very, very weird. You would think a team like Germany has a lot of depth, but the more, I mean, I watch German football a lot. I'm a Bayern Munich fan, and it's just weird, man. The depth is not as good as what you would think, in my opinion, at least. Anyways, enough chit-chat about Germany. They're going to make it, let's be honest. And I think that it's going to set up for the battle between Ivory Coast and Ecuador for that second spot. Curacao is going to have to go all in against Ecuador and Ivory Coast to get a win or something. Realistically, 1 or 2 points is probably not going to be enough for them. But best of luck to them. Group F, very, very spicy group. The Netherlands, Japan, Tunisia, and a UEFA playoff B spot between Ukraine, Sweden, Poland, and Albania. All 4 very decent teams. So this is a nice group. It's a very good. I think this group, obviously the favorites are going to be Netherlands. A lot of people are putting Japan as a dark horse, which I don't think. I have this opinion that Japan shouldn't be considered as dark horses. Not because they're good enough to not be considered as dark horses, but when you look at this group, they shouldn't be dark horses. They are expected to make it out of this group. And that's what I said in the Asian Football Show too. If Japan somehow doesn't make it out of this group, it's an absolute failure. So, like, it shouldn't be a surprise. Oh, Japan, best luck next time. You're no longer in that scenario. This is a group where Japan has to do good, prove a point, be like, we're no longer underdogs in this tournament, and it's a perfect group to do so. If they magically top the group again, which I think they are capable of, who knows what can happen. But it's a tough group. I think out of the Asian sides, Japan got one of the toughest, got one of the hardest groups. I think Saudi Arabia got very unlucky as well, and another team that I will discuss in a bit, and that's if they qualify, Iraq. We're going to talk about that later. But yeah, Japan and Tunisia, they've played a lot in the past, so always nice to see them play again. But I think similarly to the last group, I think the battle for second is going to be between all of these nations, to be honest with you. I even see Netherlands potentially not making it out first, although they are very, very good, but we'll see. We're going to have to wait and see. For Group G, this is my group, and some people like to call it the group of life. You've got Belgium, Egypt, Iran, and New Zealand. Realistically, Belgium are expected to be first place, but when you really do deep it more and more, Belgium, they don't have that 2018 generational team anymore. They haven't been great either. Like, they're not that. It's gonna sound disrespectful. They aren't what they used to be. I think people from Belgium can agree. You've lost a lot of your players. Yes, you've got the big names in like De Bruyne, Lukaku, Jeremy Doku, etc., but it's just not the same Belgium team that we saw in the past. With that being said, I still think they're going to top the group. But the battle for second and third, I think, is really going to be between Egypt and Iran. And I'm going to talk about Iran in a bit. I'm going to make a separate video talking about Iran. Not now. A little bit down the line in the future I will. I think a lot of people are also overlooking New Zealand. I think they can also hurt all 3 teams in this group. But as an Iranian, I'm going to talk about Iran. I know we haven't been great. We haven't been a great national team. It doesn't get easier than this. if Iran doesn't make it out of this group, as an Iranian, I'll be ashamed, genuinely, because it doesn't get easier than this. We, as a nation, got extremely lucky with the draw. It doesn't get easier than this. It doesn't. It truly doesn't. It doesn't get easier than this. So, I hope we make it out. I will cry if we don't make it out. But I won't be surprised because we're just so bad at the moment. But we'll see. We'll see. Group H, Spain, Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay. So as I was saying, Saudi got a little bit unlucky here. I don't think it's an impossible group, as lots of Saudis are making it seem on social media. Uruguay is not that great. I don't know if you guys have seen the recent results. They haven't been great. Now, open up FootMob SofaScore. Man, they haven't been great. Especially, did you guys see that friendly against the USA? I mean, Jesus Christ. They got pummeled against the USA. So, depending on if they keep that form going to the World Cup, I think Saudi has a fair chance. And Cape Verde is a team that they can beat. So, I don't think it's all that bad for Saudi Arabia. I think they have a chance. I really do think they have a chance. I don't think they're going to, beat Spain like, they beat Argentina back in 2022, but it's certainly possible. You never know, but I think Spain, they're one of the tournament favorites to win the whole thing, which is how talented that team is. I don't even need to, even discuss about Spain because, you guys already know how good of a national team it is. What is there to say about Spain that hasn't already been said? They've got some of the best players in the world, one of the best managers in the world. They're gonna smash it. If they don't, then abolish the World Cup. I don't know. I would be so surprised if Spain don't do well. They will. They absolutely will. Group I. This is the group I was talking about with Iraq. They're one of the FIFA playoff spots between Bolivia, Suriname, and Iraq. I think Iraq are the favorites to qualify from that group. But it doesn't matter who makes it out of that playoff spot, man. Look at this group. France, Senegal, and Norway. Oh my God. Oh my God, that group is... Oh man, I feel bad, bro. I feel bad for that playoff spot. Genuinely, I spoke about this on the Asian Football Show. Even if we're not talking about Iraq, we're talking about the two other nations. You got the worst draw possible. It doesn't get worse than this. It's going to be a war zone, man. France, again, are expected to top the group. Of course, it's France. I think the battle between second and third will be, Norway and Senegal easily. But Norway, man, they're a tricky side. I could also go and confidently say they might cause problems to France. I think they're very, very good. I see a lot of people, saying, oh, Norway is overrated because, everyone talks only about Haaland. Yeah, because the guy's not human. Have you seen Haaland play? The guy scores goals for fun. So don't be surprised if Norway, gets something out of France. I really wouldn't be surprised. They have the capacities to do so. The only way I see Norway not doing well, or Senegal for that matter, is if they get plagued with injuries. France doesn't matter if they get plagued with injuries. The depth that these guys got, they can make 3 World Cup contending teams easily. So it is what it is. We go to Group J with Argentina, Algeria, Austria, Jordan. Another very interesting group. We're all expecting Argentina to top the group, but I think the battle for second is also very much open. I think Jordan is going to be overlooked as well, but for Jordan, it's not impossible. It's not impossible. They are a solid national team, guys. Finalists of the last edition of the Asian Cup as well. I think they could. I think they can. They're playing, they start with Austria first. So if they get something against Austria, they're playing Algeria as well. And the last game is going to be against Argentina. So they've got a favorable little schedule. I think if they get something in the first 2 games and then just go all out against Argentina, which is most likely going to rotate the team because they're probably already going to be qualified. So you got nothing to lose for Jordan. But for the 3 other national teams, I think, for second and third, it's very much open between Algeria, Austria, and Jordan. I don't see Argentina going second, third, or fourth for that matter. I just don't. So yeah, Group K, we got Portugal, Uzbekistan, Colombia, and the FIFA Playoff 1 spot, which is New Caledonia, Congo, or Jamaica. I'm not sure who the favorites are. I think it's DR Congo. Logically, it should be DR Congo. But another pretty easy group for both Portugal and Colombia. I think those two teams are gonna. Again, I don't want to say it's gonna be a cakewalk, but because nothing is a cakewalk at the World Cup. But Portugal and Colombia easily have the star quality to easily do well in this group. I think Colombia can top this group. Same for Portugal. So that playoff spot is going to have to fight against Uzbekistan. You know, if we're talking about a team like Congo or even Jamaica, they can go ahead against Uzbekistan. I can see them do something. In Uzbekistan, World Cup debutants, as an Iranian, we've played these guys 5 billion times, so I know this Uzbek side as much as I know my Iranian team. So yeah, they're a very good, solid team. Good defensive team. You guys know some of the players that they have: Kuzanov, Fazulayev, Shomurodov. Those guys have potential to really damage even countries like Portugal and Colombia. But in terms of quality and just individual talent, I think it doesn't really favor Uzbekistan because they're starting with both Portugal and Colombia. So if they don't get anything out of that, it would be a little bit difficult for them to get out. But we'll have to wait and see. And then the last group for this video is Group L: England, Croatia, Ghana, Panama. Ghana, as of late, hasn't been the best in Africa. Panama isn't the best either. They're a decent national team, don't get me wrong. I just think if you compare them to a team like England and Croatia, I think they, similar to Group K, just have too much stardom, too much quality for the two other teams in that group. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you guys agree, disagree, let me know either in the comments or on my social media. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.